Okay, here is the worksheet on x and y intercepts. If you were still confused about this or needed a little extra support on this, here is how to graph using intercepts. Remember what we're doing when you have an x and y intercept, it means that it hits the x-axis, which would be a coordinate and a 0, and when it hits the y-axis, it would be a 0 and then a coordinate. So we're plugging in a 0 for x, and then later we're plugging in a coordinate or a 0 for y. So when you plug in a 0 for x, 0 times 4 is 0. So it basically goes away. So all you're looking at is what is y if 5y equals 20. So 5 times some number equals 20, and that would be 4. So y would be 4. So the y-intercept is 4. 0, 4, technically, since it says they must be written as a point. So 0, 4. And then when y is 0, you would plug in y for 0. 0 times 5 is 0. So that one goes away, which leaves it 4x equals 20. So 4 times what number equals 20? 4 times 5. So 5 would be your x-intercept. So on the x-axis, it's at 5. And then you're just going to draw a line through, and you officially have your line. Be sure to put arrows on both ends. All right, let's try the next one. Number 2, if you cover up your y, you're looking at what number times 2 equals 2. So that would be 1, and 1 is x, so your x-intercept is 1, which is on the x-axis. Okay, when you want to get your y-intercept, cover up x because that x is 0, so it takes the whole thing to 0, and it just tells you that y is 2. So there's nothing to do, it's just y is 2. So on the y-axis, it's at 2. All right, let's try a few more. Oh, one thing you guys probably should know is that in order to solve it like this, it needs to be in standard form. Your x and y have to be on the same side. So standard form, in case you forgot or if we hadn't talked about it, standard form is when there's a number with x, a number with y, and it equals a number. So the x, basically all this means is that the x and the y are on the same side of the equals. So what you'll notice here is that x and y were on the same side, x and y are on the same side, x and y are on the same side. So you can only do it like this where you do the cover-up trick if x and y are on the same side. Okay, so to find the x-intercept, cover up y. 2 times what number is negative 4? Negative 2. So the x is negative 2, x-axis negative 2. Cover up the x to get the y. That's a negative y. Be careful there. So negative what equals negative 4? That would just be 4 because negative is already there. So negative 4 has to equal negative 4. So that would just, the y would just be 4 because the negative's already there. So the y is just 4. Okay, on number 4, to get the, I'm just going to do the y first. Negative 2 times negative 4 equals 8. So the y is negative 4. All right, and then x is already done. It just says x equals 8. So x has to equal 8. So on the x-axis, oh, it's a little bit off. That's okay. It would be right there. All right, let's try the back of the paper. And if I'm going too fast, you guys can always push pause or stop it for a minute. All right, x-intercept, 2 times what number is negative 4? That would be negative 2. So on the x-axis, negative 2. And then y is already done for us. It says y is negative 4. So y is negative 4. Graphing by intercepts, I feel like, is pretty easy as long as you've got the trick down. Okay. Negative y is 5, and I need it to be a positive 5. So the only way to make a negative y into a positive 5 would be to make the y also negative, because a negative 5 becomes positive 5. So my y needs to be negative 5. Okay, x is just equal to 5. So that one's done. And again, make yourself a little mini table if I'm going too fast or if my cover-up trick doesn't work. Plug in zeros. You will get the same answers as covering them up. All right, x is already done for us. X is negative 2. So x-axis, negative 2. Y is 2 times some number. Whoops. 2 times some number is negative 2. So that would be 2 times negative 1. So on the y-axis, negative 1. All right, you can cover up each of these. Y equals 5. Guess what else? X equals 5. So this one is 5 and 5. All right, 2 more. And again, if I'm going too fast, just pause the video or ask questions as needed. Looks like the y would be 5 because 4 times 5 equals 20. So on the y-axis, 5. X would be 4. So 5 times 4 is 20. So x-axis 4. All right, and then the very last one, if you cover up the y, x is just equal to 4. So x-axis 4. And then y, you need it to be positive 4, and right now it's negative y. So in order to make it positive, you would need it to be negative 4, because negative makes it positive. So my y needs to be a negative 4. So on the y-axis, negative 4. All right, and there you go.